From an underwater cave where people have mysteriously vanished to a cave with over 20 million bats, here are 12 most mysterious caves. But first, thanks guys for keeping up with all the great comments. Some of these caves here can get pretty creepy. Let us know which one you find to be the most mysterious and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 12. The Shropshire Caves. There's always something quite mysterious when it comes to exploring a cave. It's usually dark and you might not always know where it might lead. Sometimes it's also the meeting place for secret societies such as the Knights Templar, also known as the Caynton Caves. This cave system in the United Kingdom was a place for Druids to continue practicing their faith without being persecuted. Later on, it became the meeting grounds for the Knights Templar, who were the leading group of knights during the crusades. They were disbanded in the 1300s, but before then, they played a key role in politics all over Europe. However, they were deeply in debt, and King Philip of France was looking for them. Did the Knights Templar continue pulling strings inside these mysterious caves? Rumors tell tales of them keeping their own prisoners here. This photo here shows an entrance into the cave system, which might be confused with a rabbit hole. Number 11. Flute Caves, China. This cave in China near Guilin was discovered as far back as the 8th century AD and has surprised explorers ever since. It gets its name for the patches of reeds that grow outside the opening, which can be made into flutes. But going inside is almost like exploring a whole nother world. The eerie rock formations and the illumination has made it a tourist attraction, but it also has some historical significance as well. It's believed that these mysterious caves are actually 180 million years old. They've also found inscriptions written in ink which date back to the Tang dynasty. It's held some type of spiritual significance at this time, and then during World War II, the caves were used to hide Chinese refugees that were fleeing Japanese troops. The intense colors and history to this place makes you feel like there's still much to explore. Number 10. Batu Caves. Located near the capital city of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, the Batu Caves offer mystical and spiritual vibes, but also gorgeous natural beauty. It's here you'll find a series of caves and Hindu temples throughout, and the shrines here have become popular among followers of this religion outside of India. The limestone caves found in this area are roughly 400 million years old, and they've been used by local indigenous people for shelter. Outside the opening of this cave, you'll find the world's tallest statue of the Hindu deity known as Murugan, which is coated with golden paint from Thailand. This mysterious cave hosts a wide variety of wildlife, and it's common to see macaque monkeys near their shrines. Some legends tell tales of demons once inhabiting these caves who were defeated by the character depicted in the golden statue. Number 9. Grotte de Massabielle. Although it's not a huge cave, it's been the location of quite a few mysterious events within the past couple centuries and is now the site of a mass pilgrimage among Catholics. Located in Lourdes, France, there has been 18 apparitions of the Virgin Mary here, and also some believe that they have discovered miracle healing water at this location. The first person to have seen the apparition of the Virgin Mary here went by the name of Bernadette. At the age of 14, Bernadette was gathering firewood here, and she continued having visions of a woman in white nearly each time she went. She stuck consistently to her story, and many believe she was telling the truth. She later dug a well to gather water from this area, which is now considered to be sacred. Each year, 5 million people come to Lourdes to drink the water, visit the basilica, and see the cave where her sightings took place. Many stay hopeful that the water will cure their ailments, and after scientific studies on the water, they determine that it's actually extremely pure. Number 8. Vortex Spring Cave. If you see this sign with the Grim Reaper, you probably don't want to explore any further, and you might feel that this is a mysterious cave. Located in Florida, this innocent-looking pond is actually just the surface to one of the most mysterious caves in the world. Some have entered and never came back. Such was the case of Ben McDaniel, a scuba diver who went missing in 2010, who frequently visited this cave. Extensive searching took place for Ben in this cave, but he was never found, despite being an experienced diver. This photo we see here shows two fearless scuba divers exploring the openings of Vortex Spring Cave, despite the warnings. Number 7. Bracken Cave. Many will not even dare to enter this cave located in Texas due to the sheer amount of bats found here. Bats can be found swarming in and out of this opening, almost like locusts in some cases. This cave called Bracken Cave is filled with an estimated 20 million bats, mostly the Mexican free-tailed bat that we see here. At night, they might choose to come out and try to search for food, but you should probably be wearing some type of hat to keep them out of your hair. This is considered to be the largest colony of bats in the world and also the largest concentration of mammals anywhere on this planet. Some estimate that inside this cave, there can be as many as 500 bats per square foot. The floor of this cave is supposedly crawling with carnivorous beetles who eat the dead bats that litter the ground. They can clean a recently deceased bat in only a couple of minutes. It's probably best to stay out of this one too. Number 6. Wind Cave, South Dakota. Although this cave was fairly well known to Native Americans, it was discovered by Western explorers in the late 1880s, and the wind blowing through here was strong enough to blow off their hats from their heads. They came back to the caves later on and noticed the wind seemed to switch directions. The grimy look to it when the cave is lit up seems to give off a mysterious vibe to this place, and you'll notice many unique rock formations within. The cave was explored for valuable minerals and gold, but nothing was ever discovered, keeping the cave in its original condition. Although geologists now understand why the cave has wind, it remained quite mysterious for those who first explored it. Number 5. Kabayan Mummy Caves. Also known as the fire mummies of the Philippines, uniquely preserved mummies were discovered in these caves, which are now currently being held in a museum. These were created between 1200 to 1500 AD by the Ibeloid tribes. The ritual would begin shortly before the person entered the afterlife. They would start off by drinking a very salty beverage while they were alive, and after passing away, they were set on fire in a seated position. Tobacco smoke was blown into the mouth to dry the internal organs. Finally, they were placed in a pine coffin and into the caves. The caves seem to offer a mysterious condition that allows for the bodies to stay fairly well preserved for centuries. Number 4. Bell Witch Cave, Tennessee. This cave, located in Tennessee near Nashville, is rumored to be one of the most haunted caves in the United States. It only goes in about 490 feet deep, but that seems to be just deep enough for a witch to live here. This cave was associated with the Bell Witch, which allegedly tormented the Bell family in the early 1800s. People from all across the country would come to the Bell family home and to the cave to witness the bizarre activity going on. One report claims that a young child ran into the cave, got stuck, and they heard a mysterious voice within the cave saying, "I'll get him out." Number 3. Goes Cave. Located in the Cheddar Gorge of Somerset, England, this cave contains the largest underground river system in the UK, but also a mysterious and dark past. The oldest fossil found in England, known as the Cheddar Man, was found here, which dates back to 7150 BC. It appears also that his demise was not a pretty scene. Some of the abnormalities you see on the right eye socket could have been likely caused from a strange bone infection. What exactly caused the end of the Cheddar Man still remains a mystery, but many believe he might have been a victim of cannibalism. Other human skeletons found at this cave show evidence of the same knife marks found on animals when meat is removed from the bones, and even a skull used as a cup. Not a cave you want to be at during the Ice Age. Strangely enough, the cave is now used to mature cheddar. We assume this story still won't keep you from eating cheddar cheese. Number 2. Caves of the Hanging Snakes. Caves are certainly home to some creepy creatures, but one in the Yucatan Peninsula known as the Cave of the Hanging Snakes might be a place where nightmares are made from. The creatures that don't normally rely on sunlight can get downright terrifying, but other creatures still like to eat them anyways. This cave is home to snakes that feast on the thriving bat population that lives here and will snatch the bats when they least expect it. The bats seemingly provide the snake with a never-ending food source. The serpents tend to dangle from the cave and hide in tiny little crevices. Other weird creatures like albino crawdads are known to live in the areas of the cave with water. Number 1. Hang Son Doong. The world's largest and most mysterious cave is the Hang Son Doong cave system in Vietnam. It's over 150 meters high in some points and stretches at least 5 kilometers. It's so massive that it actually has its own jungles, an underground river, and its own climate. Mist and water vapor seep its way into the cave, which can create rain clouds. Visitors notice a huge difference in temperature after entering this place. This wasn't even discovered until 1991, when a farmer began to stay inside the cave during storms. This photo we see here shows a daring cave explorer to the right enter with a rope into a section known as the Garden of Eden, which is one of the jungles inside the Hang Son Doong cave system. Making a reservation to this place certainly isn't easy, and it could easily cost you a few $1,000s to just enter.